Because a budget is a guide. A budget can be a ceiling. So the fact that you had a budget of 106 million does not mean that you must spend 106 million. Is that sector technical advice with us? Is it in our files? Because it is the foundation of your argument here. Is it in our files? Senator Sifuna, it is obviously not here.
Chair, as a response, I would want to know how much had this lowest bidder quoted?
62 million. 62 million, the lowest bidder.
Oh, okay.
To be specific, it's 62,173,448.
You thought that was too low?
Yes, compared to the estimate, the cost was estimated by the department.
So you added 36 million, you prefer to pay 36 million more?
The project estimates by the department was 106.
No, that's a budget. I've told you how, you know how budgets work. It does not mean that if you have a budget of 106, you must spend 106. Everyone wants to make a saving.
And Chair, is it not entirely possible, Governor, that you can make estimates in 1 month and maybe in another year because of technological advancements that make their work easier? Somebody can give you something that is way lower than what you thought it would cost. What would have been the harm of giving these people a try so that you save the people of Isiolo 40 million Kenya shillings?
Chair, it's not the budget. The costing was done by the
That's what I'm saying. Maybe these people have tools that you people are not aware of. They are making use of technology that exists somewhere that you have never heard of.
GIS, artificial intelligence, and all that.
Yeah.
How can you just stick, if your estimate say they will use the walking style, you know how we used to measure the size of land, Chair? Tembea mpaka pale alafu rudi.
With a rope and a stick.
Yeah. A rope and a stick.
Yeah, Chair, you know, the estimate was done by specialists from the department.
We have the officer who gave the technical advice here.
Just give us the sector technical advice that you have referred to here.
Chief of Salan will give it.
Where is it? Where is it in our files? I'm seeing here concept note. I want to see the advice that you got because I want to know who signed it.
Breakdown of the budget estimates for the costing.
My friend, have you read this response?
Yes.
Have you read it?
I've read.
The price was too low compared to sector technical advice. Give us that sector technical advice that you're referring to. I don't want to hear your stories. I am sure that advice was put on paper and signed by somebody. That is the person we want. We want to know who is this who's happy to spend 36 million more in Isiolo. Is that advice in our file?
Chair, I think if you can check on the response, it's not budgeted, but you can check the costing done.
Sector technical advice, my friend. That is what you have read here. That is what we want to see.
Or is it given by word of mouth?
What is that thing you're reading, boss? What is it?
Chair, it's written breakdown of budget estimates.
That is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the sector technical advice that told you that this guy is so low, he's not going to deliver. Let's spend 36 million more. That's what we are looking for.
Chair, this is a hostile witness. Can he take an oath?
He's not hostile, he doesn't understand.
Yes, so that you know he is misleading the committee.
I think we are joking too much with public resources.
The committee is becoming hostile.
We want to know who did it. There must be professional advice by a procurement officer.
Yes.
That person has no business being a member of the Institute of Supply Chain. That's why I want to see that sector advice. Who gave it? Who gave that advice that you spent 36 million more?
There must have been technical evaluation of the two companies done by the sector or the procurement department.
Yeah, because surely people bidding to do jobs in county governments, this is unheard of that someone was dropped because it was too low. You know, this is strange. So I want to see that advice, and I want to see who gave that advice.
Honorable
Do you have it?
Honorable Chair, the breakdown for that
But it can't be
technical
from him.
advice is not attached here. What we have attached is the estimates.
So it is not here. Then you are wasting our time.
It's
What
not
else
here,
are you telling
Chair.
us which is of because even if whether you tell us budgets or whatever, that's neither here nor there. The decision that triggered the dismissal of the lowest bidder.
That should be the technical department.
Yeah, do you also have the evaluation report of the two bidders? Because then you must have evaluated them and maybe even done due diligence on the lowest bidder to establish that the lowest bidder would fail because he had failed in other instances. That's what we need to see. The evaluation report. Do you have it?
And you know, Chair,
Just listen to my question. Do you have the evaluation report?
Chair, with your permission, I don't have them here, but I can assure you I could provide.
oh my goodness. Chair,
Senator Ampo?
you know, Governor, you've made reference to some advice. And that advice is the one that made you go for a guy charging you 98 million as opposed to one charging you 62 million. And the question that the Senate is asking is a very simple question. Where is that advice? Unless you're saying you met someone on the street and they told you, no, don't spend 62, that's too low, spend 98. And unless it's just a conversation that happened. Where is that? You've made reference to the advice yourself. It's not from us. It's your documents. And you're saying, let us see that advice. So that maybe we may say you're not the problem.
Chair, I think you are whipping the wrong person. Because he's the head of that department.
He's the one who brought himself there.
But then what's
Be a technical person who advised accordingly.
what do you do in the county?
He's a chief officer.
What do you do in the county?
Chair, I'm the chief officer in charge of lands and fiscal planning.
But your contract expired in March. What are you doing in office?
Through the chair, it was renewed.
Where is the evidence to that effect?
Hawewe unatupoteza. Chairman,
I can
just allow me
provide
one-
to you.
Just allow me one thing. You know, even that document he was referring to, if we went with you line by line on that document, my brother, you would get the point that we are making. I can see here, for instance, you have in that breakdown of budget estimates, you have put aside 4 million shillings for a launch by the governor. If somebody like that bidder came and told you we don't need to launch this thing and spend 4 million of taxpayers' money on a launch, it would reduce your budget by 4 million. If the bidder had told you on this draft plan preparation that you don't need 20 million to prepare a draft capital investment plan or review and comment on the stakeholder engagement forums or training of county staff, if he told you they would do cheaper or they would take a less amount of money to do that, how can you come and tell them that this doesn't accord with our estimates? That's the point that I was making to you. So there is a question that the chair put to you, Governor, that I think it was the vice chair, that in the evaluation of those two bidders, if that was before us, then we would see what are the shortfalls or shortcomings of the bidders' bid when it comes to these specific activities, you know?
We'll provide the evaluation report here from the technical committee here, who evaluated the project.
Vice Chair?
For me, lastly, you are supposed to advise the lowest bidder that they did not succeed in their bid and the reasons why. Did you write to the lowest bidder, informing them that they have failed in their bid? Because that is the law.
Governor?
Chair, we have not written to him as confirmed by the response that we didn't seek clarification from the...
Was it clarification or notification?
Come again?
Did you get the question asked by the Vice Chair?
Yes,
Can you respond to it?
through the chair. We responded that since we found the lowest bidder had a more lower price, that we saw as a department that it will affect the quality of work, so we didn't write to him.
When you notify somebody that they have lost the bid, how would you compromise the quality of work?
We responded to him that he didn't win the award.
Are you the one who gave this technical advice?
No,
Who gave it?
the technical committee, evaluation committee,
Headed by?
the procurement officer.
And their decision is done in writing.
Yes,
And that's what we'll, is that person here?
Guide.
Someone introduce himself as head of procurement. Who's the head of procurement in this team?
Chair, through you, can we have copies? Excuse me, where are the minutes when you discussed all these things?
Actually, that's a question we want to
Where
put to
are the minutes where you discussed all these things and made a decision?
through the chair, we will provide.
No,
Then what have you responded to if you don't have the minutes?
you see, they are trying to run away saying they'll respond, but surely, Governor, how do you, this is unheard of, how do you just dismiss someone and say that it's too cheap without any technical basis, without any assessment on record? Because that's what I'm asking for. Give us